This is an SGI Indigo2 R10000 IMPACT. And 30 some odd years ago, this Unix powerhouse could set you back the equivalent of a brand new Ford Taurus, SHO. And today, we're going to bring this one back to life using some modern magic of our own. So stay tuned. And if you enjoy your Unix with a dash of color, I hope you'll consider subscribing to the channel. I have a real fascination with old 90s purpose-built Unix workstations. They are relics of a time when computing was very different. Today you can buy relatively inexpensive off-the-shelf computers and have enough power to do basically anything. But back in the 90s, things were different. If you needed to do something like render realistic 3D dinosaurs, your Packard Bell wasn't going to cut it. Enter the world of Silicon Graphics, purveyors of uber-powerful Unix-based graphical workstations. If you needed to make Toy Story in 1995, you were buying a room full of SGI machines, and you were spending a lot for that power. For the cost of just this small collection of SGIs that I've accumulated over the years, you could buy a house back in the day. Just this single Indigo 2 that we're reviving today, I'm pretty sure this was $50,000 when it was new, and they could get a lot more expensive than that. If you'd like to know more about the interesting history of SGI, I'll link to some other videos down in the description below. But today, we're going to use some modern tech and modern projects to bring this very special SGI machine back to life. Right after this quick word about today's sponsor, Delete Me. When I was a wee, young, naive retro, I shared my full name and childhood home address on a vintage computing forum. Search engines picked up this forum post, and then the data brokers got it. And for years, that stupid childhood home address haunted me online, and this is exactly the kind of thing that today's sponsor Delete Me can help to address. Since starting this very public YouTube adventure, I've made attempts to manually clean up my personal info online, but after using Delete Me, oh boy, did they find a lot. Delete Me not only found all of this, but they showed me a ton of data brokers and websites that have my information and helped me delete it. I wonder if that's where they got the name Delete Me from. But seriously, it's harder than ever today to keep your private info private. And with all the dangers lurking out there on the internet like phishing scams, identity theft, it's more important than ever to protect your private information. Get 20% off your Delete Me US consumer plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/actionretro and use promo code actionretro at checkout. That's joindeleteme.com/actionretro, code actionretro. So this SGI machine is actually very special even compared to other SGI Indigo 2s. It's the Indigo R10000 IMPACT, and it is the final form of the Indigo 2 line. We'll dig into this thing's specs a little more once we get it booting finally, but to do that we actually have to open this up a little bit because I'm pretty sure this hard drive is dead. This thing is also a little bit worse for wear. It's pretty scuffed up and beat up, and oh yeah, this isn't actually connected anymore, although this does have a tape drive and a CD-ROM drive installed. Pretty nice. I think it's really interesting that this whole thing is pretty much held together by this long bar that goes through the middle, and to put it back together you kind of have to run it through with a sword. And this thing, it was really made to be easily taken apart. Although the plastics are pretty fragile these days. But yeah, here is our probably dead hard drive on this lovely little sled. We're going to replace that with a SCSI to SD. I've read that these work really well with SGI machines, although I do want to at some point test this out with other solutions like a blue SCSI. And we can remove the tape drive here, and we can even remove our CD-ROM drive. Yeah, it's not even all the way screwed on. All right, I'm just gonna pop this thing off the sled here. This is a Quantum 4GB SCSI hard drive, and it's pretty interesting how the SCSI selector is up front, but they've brought it around back here with this ribbon cable. But we're not going to need that to install the SCSI to SD here. In fact, we don't even need power. This is going to get power directly from the SGI bus, although we should 3D print a mount or something so we don't short out against the metal sled. Ooh, sparkly. Fresh SD card, 16 gigs. And installed. Okay, so we are going to be installing IRIX 6522 using a project called Reanimator, which is going to give us a Raspberry Pi image that we can flash to an SD card, boot up a Raspberry Pi, and use it as a network installer, so we don't have to fuss around with a bunch of CDs. So I've downloaded all the files right here, and this image actually has all of the SGI installers ready to go. So we just have to write that to an SD card, chuck it into a Raspberry Pi, and boot it up. So what's really cool about using Reanimator is we don't have to mess around with networking at all. In fact, we can directly connect an Ethernet cable between the Raspberry Pi and the SGI, and Reanimator acts as both the router and the server. Yep, there it is, booting up. All right, I've got the Reanimator install guide up. I'm going to turn on the SGI and then hit escape to get into the setup menu. All right, so following along with these instructions, we need to go into the command monitor, set env net addr 192.168.9.1, which is the first of the two possible IP addresses we can use. And then that should connect us to the Raspberry Pi so we can boot a partitioner. And now what's important here is we're deviating from the instructions a bit. This is a 64-bit machine, so we need to use fx.64 instead of fx.arcs. And yep, there it is, opening up from the server RBPI. And we're going to partition, so device name DKSC, drive 1. Yep, and there I found it. So the drive type is code source, and it's the SCSI to SD. And the Reanimator guide gives us instructions on how to format the disk. All right, so now we can do install system software, remote directory, server's name is RBPI, and the remote directory for 6.5.22. All right. Install. Yeah, the Raspberry Pi is blinking away, and so is the SCSI to SD. Oh yeah, check it out. Make a new file system on the disk. Yes. And again, all of this is in the instructions in the Reanimator install guide. System name will be Iris. The network address will be the IP address from before. All right, we are in the meat of the installer. So we can go into 13 for admin, 15 for load file name, and then we can load all of our software selections from a default list in a text file. All right, yep, terms and agreements and README files. I will carefully read all of these. I'm going to choose option 1, place me on the maintenance stream, just because the instructions say to do it. Okay, slight jump cut to an indeterminate amount of time in the future. I did this install and got some strange results, so I did a bunch more research on installing IRIX, and there's a few commands not in the Reanimator install instructions that I'm going to issue here, and I will link all of this documentation down in the description below, but I'm going to do keep star, install standard, install prereqs, which should have nothing. Yep. And now, just need to type go. Oh, no, we have conflicts. Okay. Yeah, we just need to do option 1A since we don't have any Mozilla additional distribution CDs. All right, no conflicts. Now, go and cross fingers. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, IRIX release 6.5. The system is coming up. All right, we're gonna use easy setup here to configure this. Step 1, make your system secure. Fat chance of this ever being secure. All right, let's give all of these passwords. I'll just use all the defaults here. Use DHCP. Let's see if that works. And let's give this an actual user account so we don't have to log in as root. All right, we can log in as Sean. Oh yeah, here we are, the classic SGI background. Oh, look at this. We are in Silicon Graphics now. Here's our console. We've got some web browsers. Let's see if we are on the internet. Look at that ancient Mozilla splash screen. That looks incredible. All right, we are not yet online. Let's check out about this system. Our CPU is a 195 megahertz R10000 IP28 CPU. We've got 128 megs of RAM, which I think was stock, and believe it or not, this mid-90s machine can go up to 1 gigabyte of RAM. Graphics board 0 is Impact PC graphics. All right, I think we just need to set up a DNS entry here. And we'll give it all 1s and all 8s for Google and Cloudflare. Host resolution order, we'll do DNS first. And we'll do a quick restart. Oh, heck yeah, look at that. We are online on the SGI Indigo2. Not very secure, but we are doing it anyway. Oh yeah, this is Netscape Communicator 4 point something. This is amazing. We're browsing the internet on an SGI Indigo2. And wow, it feels freaking fast. Look at that. Can you imagine browsing the early internet on a $50,000 computer back in the day? This is just so wild using this now. Absolutely amazing. Oh man, we got this Unix behemoth back up and running. That is so freaking exciting. I can't believe I have one of these things working. And there's a lot more I want to do with this thing. Like, well, I'd like to figure out a better way to reattach this, perhaps with some tiny 3D printing. And I also have some upgrades I'd like to chuck in there. And I bet we could have a lot of fun trying to use this $50,000 Unix workstation as a gaming PC. But if you want to see that, you'll have to stick around. So if you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more Unixy stuff like this, please subscribe down below. And thank you very much for watching. And I just want to give a very special thank you to all of my Patreon supporters and channel members. Thank you so much, each and every one of you, for supporting me and supporting this channel and all the weird stuff I do. I am so very grateful, and I just could not do this without you.